Yes, she keeps the company. I'll just leave it at that. We have to address Vaughn. Vaughn is Canadian and liberal. I think he has a poster of Justin Trudeau on his ceiling. I don't know. I just think he does. And there's something coming up. Tariffs. I don't know. Do you want to speak on tariffs? I don't know what to believe.
Okay. Have you spoken to any economists on tariffs? I know you have a few lawyer friends, and I know you're in something of a college town, and so you might have an economist friend, maybe a banker.
You're my only friend. You're my only friend.
I'm your only friend. That's good. You're in good company then. So I've got a couple of economist friends, and they are on a split.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I messed up. Vaughn, I thought you were Canadian and a big liberal. I'm sorry, bro. I got something wrong. I need to stand accountable, and I need to only speak the truth. Vaughn, I apologize. You were just talking like, I don't know, like such pro-Canadian rhetoric. I didn't know what to believe. I will try to cipher better. Go ahead, Sasquatch.
So up until the development of the IRS and our modern taxation system, the entire U.S. federal government was funded through tariffs.
Okay.
This includes the military and various other black bag operations and everything involved in the federal government. But the federal government has gotten so huge that they just overlook tariffs in exchange for better relations with other countries as to drive revenue through GDP is the idea. But the reality comes down to the fact that if we make these things at home, we don't have to pay. We can make them cheaper there than we can here because of all the regulations, the EPA, all of the government stuff that's in the way of doing this type of stuff. So if you start putting tariffs on stuff, it becomes more reasonable to make things here, but not necessarily any more possible because of the way the regulations work. They're specifically put in place to prevent things like waterway disturbances and all of that EPA stuff. I'm pretty sure EPA was put in with the swipe of a pen by presidential executive order and can be removed the same way.
Well, wouldn't it, not to quote a Beach Boys song, but Beach Boys are awesome, FYI. They're not just whatever. They are. And really, it's only one guy. It's Brian Wilson. He writes all the songs. But wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if America just created all its own stuff, like the quote-unquote good old days? I heard a rumor that saline, that's that stuff you hang on bags and put in like basically every single patient, is not made in America. It's like made in China or something, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
There's a few places. There's a few different sources. India, China, and a couple other places over there. But how is it cheaper to ship water halfway around the world with a little salt in it than to put salt in the water that you distill locally? I do not understand.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you've never been to India, but they work. I mean, it's an asshole country. They don't even have toilet paper there. I can say that firsthand. I've been to India. If you go, just be prepared to not have toilet paper, which means you have to wipe yourself with your hand, your left hand. No, there's no sponges. And also,
you can sponge. You might not have been able to, but it is possible, sir.
There's no sponges in India. There's no toilet paper in India. And also, there's no forks. So you also eat with your hands. Bro, it's an asshole country. It's a great time. If you're a vegetarian, I highly recommend it. But
this is why I have a combat spork.
Maybe that'll work. And salute to you, Anurag Vats. I think he might be Indian. I hope he doesn't unsubscribe. Sorry, bro. No, the high-class places, they have a nice little hose, like a kitchen sink. It's great. And then you can clean your butt off. But most of the places don't.
Let's look at the timeline. The timeline of tariffs is different from the timeline of taxation. right? When you generate revenue through taxation, the taxation is yearly. That's you're paid by the week or whatever. It accumulates. You pay once a year. Bam, you've been taxed, right? With tariffs, it's a little different, and it's not the consumer that initially pays the difference, right? If you want to have an imported product, then you can pay extra to have that imported product. We immediately pick up money from the consumers that insist on having a particular brand from a particular location, as well as incentivize every single store in America to find a US based company that can provide these services they're looking for. So there's several uphill effects that take place financially that aren't typically discussed, because I mean, it's not just the value of the goods, it's also what the goods are. There are some things that have to be purchased from outside of the country. These things are going to catch a tariff too, right? The money will flow in from both ends, because the other country, the country that's sending the products in, has to pay the tariff. They're going to transfer it to the consumer eventually, but that takes time. And that window of a few months that it takes to transfer the cost of doing business, as it were, onto the customer is the real meat and drink of the money that's generated through tariffs.
Hold on, I have to address this because I feel like I offended one of my few Indian friends or subs. I hear you. India has forks. We prefer to eat with our hands. I know it's good. You got to eat your biryani with your hand. You got to mix it up. You got to put it in chapati, bro. Facts. I know. Americans, yes, we eat pizza, burgers, hot dogs. Don't forget chicken wings, my dude. That's the number one, I think, right? Fried chicken. See, now I feel bad. Look, tariffs. Here's the deal. People are talking about going to war with China. Are you insane, first off? And second off, you're going to go to war with China, and then what? They make like all of our stuff, right? We have to start making stuff in America again. We have to bring it on home, in the words of Led Zeppelin.
How?
Maybe tariffs are the answer, or I don't know. I don't know.
That's one piece. If Trump comes in, well, who was the guy, and was it in Honduras, who just fired half the freaking government to balance the books? Maduro? Was that his name?
Maduro is the Venezuela guy.
Oh, the other guy. Who was the other guy? The one that fired half the Honduran government or whatever.
Well, are you talking about El Salvador? That's Nayib Bukele.
Thank you. Okay, so homie comes in, basically burns the extra money that's been printed so that the inflation immediately stops. He just stacked it up in the middle of a fucking a churchyard, and set it on fire, and then fired half of the government workers, resulting in a huge unemployment crisis. But then he added tariffs to the country, to anyone else that's importing stuff, and that inspired the people to like build their own crap so they could sell it for cheaper. And that works. In America, we have such an overburden of government in every facet of our lives that you can't build a modern factory in Arizona, not close enough to a city that you could actually commute to it. And so what you end up having to do is the Ford method, which is to build a company and then build a city near it so that you can set the laws corporately. And that sounds kind of fascist to me, but whatever.
Do you know about Fordlandia?
Yeah, I do. I did a whole show on that a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. So apparently rubber, there's something called a rubber tree. Crazy, right? Apparently rubber comes from trees in the old days.
There's another rubber tree plant.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And, to make tires, you had to grow. Who knew that tires grew on trees? But apparently that was the way it was. And I think it was in Brazil. Where's Fordlandia?
It was Brazil at the time. I don't know if it still is.
Ford, before they could synthesize rubber, still have no idea how that's made. They went to Brazil, bought a bunch of land, brought a bunch of horticulturalists, and they're like, yo, grow some rubber trees. Also, your whole family can come. Don't worry. We're going to have American schools, American churches, American roads. It's still like a ghost town out there in a jungle now. And lo and behold, it was a complete failure because rubber trees, you can't grow them like corn. They have to be grown in a diverse type of jungle something. But
they have to be started in a very unique kind of way. We've cracked the code since then, but it's still more efficient to just find really big, large, natural rubber trees to tap. I mean, it's like maple. You can't really mass produce maple trees. They're just there where they are.
Well, speaking of maple, the thing that brought us on this topic is, first off, Vaughn, who is not Canadian. Sorry. And there's rumor of a 25% tariff on Canadian items. And when I was listening to the audience, they said lumber.
That'll never happen. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen?
I have some. This is for you, Sasquatch.
I didn't.
You don't know me, and I wouldn't have done it. And
if I don't know you, then
please stop interrupting me.
Please stop interrupting me, Sasquatch. Listen, I feel like I'm smart when I have an idea, and I want to say it. Canada apparently creates wood, maple syrup, and they make cars. Who knew? So what do you think, Sasquatch? Now is your turn to talk. Is a 25% tariff on Canada a good or a bad thing? Go.
It won't happen. It'll be laid out in the law. It'll be written down. Canada will secure the border, and then it'll be lifted, because that's the only thing that Trump asked for from Canada, was to secure the northern border, account for every person that comes across, and that tariff immediately goes away. Mexico is going to have a little bit of a harder time hopping that fence, but I think they'll do it too. This is a really clever way to close the borders and not have to actually put tariffs on them. It's just a threat, dude. It makes no sense to do it, because just like homie said, all construction grinds to a halt. If you don't got wood, you can't do nothing, bro.
That's what she said. So are you trying to tell me that Canada's going to build the wall and they're going to pay for it? Or no, we're going to build the wall and Canada's going to pay for it?
Canada already has millions of square acres that are as good as any freaking wall you could build over there, dude. Like, you got to be a professional hiker to go across some of that territory if you want to try to hop the fence that way. Really, it's the legitimate ports of entry that we have to lock down more squarely. And if we have Canada do it and make it their responsibility, they pay for it, more is the better. Because we're not trying to build a 10,000-mile wall between here and Canada. That's repugnant. I mean, it's going to be a state one day, and we have to maintain a way to get taxes from them in the future.
So this, you're saying, is some type of hardcore negotiation tactic. It's just a threat.
No, it's not an empty threat, because it will happen if they resist. But Canada has border laws. We have border laws. If we simply enforce our border laws and they enforce theirs, it done deal. No,
hold up. Listen, I got to get my water. I don't know where the heck it is. Just keep talking about something smart. Kamala Harris, Trump, tariffs. I'll be right back, bro. You good?
On the tariffs. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
So
hold on. Oops. Let me remove my
touch buttons and stuff. That's cool. All right. So as long as the borders are properly utilized instead of being abused as like open entry, it doesn't even take a whole lot to do it if everyone's actually enforcing the laws that are already in place. You don't even have to pass any new laws. It's already there. Same's true for Mexico. All they have to do is enforce their laws, we enforce our laws, and poof, the border stops being an issue, because you cut off the ports of entry into Mexico in the first place through Mexican law without ever lifting a finger. It's brilliant if you'll sit and think about it for a second, because while it sounds like an empty threat, it doesn't have to be. Just state out loud 25% tariff, unless, if you'll do this one thing, which is already your responsibility to do, suddenly there's no tariff and it's not a problem. But then again, there's a whole bunch of other things that go along in that same equation, because once you've got the tariff in place, there's yet another time lag involved in the accumulation of responsibility for that debt, I guess. They'll probably try to do some legalese type stuff to feng swangle their way around, but it's all just freaking posturing. I don't believe it will actually go through. I believe that Canada will realize that it is more monetarily beneficial to them to just maintain the border. I don't know about Mexico because they have something of an oddity in their political systems with the level of corruption that's going on down there, as I understand it. And so, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made in America. A tight border is not going to help them make some of it, but it will help legitimate funding. It's haggling. That's good. CCD gets it. That's exactly what this is. All it does is put pieces on the table so that everybody sees what's actually being used. It's as if you insist on using the concept of chess, it is not 4D chess. It's just standard master level chess. Welcome back.
Great show, Sasquatch. Thanks for holding it down. All right, so Vaughn, don't worry. That whole segment was for you, bro. If you're still there. Vaughn, the not Canadian, not liberal. There's not going to be tariffs, according to world-renowned economist.
Actually, these are all economists who went to school 15 years ago and currently run farms
in Zimbabwe.
No.
Okay. Just asking. Jonathan Earl in the house. That was an insufficient amount of time to use the bathroom and wash your hands. I saved time by not washing my hands. Actually, I got my water, sir. It was in the fridge. I started the show without it.
So why are you peeing in the fridge?
It's actually it's a test, 24-hour collection. You got to keep it cold.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. Okay, so hire me to pick or feed something, one of y'all.
He just wants a job.
All right, let's get back to this. So Kamala Harris, of course, I thought she was going to win, right? I was scared. And I have never been happier about myself being wrong than when Kamala won, right? Because I thought she was going to win. And what a horrible day that would have been. Thank God she didn't win. I was wrong. So to everyone out here who wants to say that I made the wrong prediction, I did. And thank God I was wrong, right? But we always wondered, we always said these things, oh, they're hiding her. She's not doing Rogan. It's all true, right? She only had 100 days. 100 days was the best thing that ever happened to her lousy campaign. Because the more she puts herself out there, the more she gets exposed for what she is. And that is a fraud. That is a person who believes in nothing except for deleting babies and trans women in women's sports. And other than that, she has no idea what she thinks. The only thing she thinks is, I want to get elected. I will just say whatever it takes, right? That's not the kind of person we want as a leader of anything. We want someone who has convictions. We want someone who knows and has a clear vision of their own, right? Not a copy-paste leader, but a real leader. A leader with ideas and implementation. Go ahead.
I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with a copy-paste leader if they would copy things from the past that worked, right? I mean, I'm not saying do anything drastic or dynamic. I'm just saying take a good look at what's worked in the past, take another swing at it with maybe a little bit more technology and see where we stand.
Yeah, right? Just be a good implementer. Be a good organizer. LOL. Isn't that what Obama was? A community organizer? Just be organized. Get your ducks in a row. Know what mise en place means and get to it, right? But Kamala is none of those things. Is she a hard worker? Probably. Does she know how to navigate the corporate world? I would say yes. Does she know how to navigate the political landscape? I would say yes as well. But that's not the kind of leader we need. And it showed in the polls.
Have you ever looked into any body language specialist type stuff?
To me, that is a total pseudoscience and a scam. That people say that they're body language experts. They bring them on news.
Sure.
Is there an accreditation thing? I mean, you might as well get one of these red pill dudes that tells you how to pick up chicks. It's just like 10 signs she's into you, right? Or even chicks on Vogue. 5 surefire signs he wants you. You know, it's okay. I mean, I'm a body language expert. What do you have an example you want me to interpret? I'm an expert.
Kamala Harris.
Absolutely. Kamala Harris is uncomfortable in herself because her insides are completely empty. How was that?
I don't disagree with any particular point that you've said. I think it is more of a learned skill than a pseudoscience or a mystery, really. It's just most people don't think about it. They don't consider it in the now while you're actually having the conversation and you're doing it. They don't pay attention to micro expressions except for subconsciously, which everyone has learned to do over the course of their socializing years.
The thing is, Kamala did well for herself, and she just kept using that same model. And there's this expression, maybe help me out. You get promoted to, how does this expression go? You get promoted as high as you can get until the job you're horrible at or something. Does anyone, you ever heard that? You know what I'm talking about?
You ever heard of failing forward, bro?
She did. I don't think she failed forward. I probably, listen, if you look at some of her old tapes, when she is attacking people, right? She was attacking Kavanaugh for allegedly doing something naughty 30 freaking years ago. Like, she's pretty competent, honestly. You know, when it comes to attacking and going by the book and doing this, she's pretty good from what I've seen. But just as far as ideas and all that, no, I would say no. You get what is it? You get promoted to the job. I forget what it's called. But
Slow Burner asked, does that make you a good manipulator? It can, but more likely you just respond more on point during a conversation, right? Because you have to see them. You have to be able to see their face, their hands, how they're sitting, stuff like that. Or you're like not being able to see your hands and how they're set deprives people of information, right? But if you don't believe in the idea of being able to read people to an extent, then do you believe in coincidence?
I guess. Sure. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to define it first off. Everything is a coincidence. Really, it's a coincidence that you and me are here together with red backgrounds.
You can't answer this wrong, either yes or no. But typically, when people answer yes, you can expect them to be fairly based and straightforward with you. But if they answer no, you can expect some numerology text here in the next couple of months, because anybody who doesn't believe in coincidence has to find purpose in all the things that happen to them. It's all happened for a reason. So they're either religious, spiritual, they're insane and need to put on the tinfoil hat, running around trying to do Zoroastrianism or whatever. Freaking these people.
Dude, are you talking about Chaotic Truth Show today? Because I went on there and some dude was talking about numerology and
yes, those people.
Santa,
those people, not
Sumatra. Bro, no, sorry. You're banned for 5 seconds for even bringing that topic up. No, please don't talk about that. Look, I found what I was looking for. Thanks to nobody out there who helped me out with this. You get promoted. Damn it. You get promoted to your level of incompetence. It means like if you're a hard worker and whatever, they promote you because you're good, you're a hard worker, and then you finally make it up to a certain level, and then you're horrible at it, but they don't really fire you because you worked hard to get there. That's what it's called. Apparently, it's also called the Peter Principle. The idea that people are promoted to their level of incompetence is known as the Peter Principle. The Peter Principle is a management theory that explains why companies may have ineffective management staff. It states that employees are promoted based on their success in previous job roles, even if their skills don't translate to their new role. This can lead to employees being promoted to a level where they are no longer competent. The Peter Principle who is Peter, right? The Peter principle was first identified by Dr. Lawrence J. Peter. Okay, there it is. In his 1968 book of the same name. The theory is often presented in a lighthearted way, but it can have a serious consequence for organizations. The Peter principle can also be applied to other situations, such as movie sequels and restaurant visits. Okay, well, there it is. Okay, so Kamala lost. Thank God. We've got 79 million viewers right now. Make sure you subscribe to Midlifebrologic and Caucasian Sasquatch. I got to get my numbers up. It's Thanksgiving. I want to be thankful for cracking 10 trillion subs tonight. So let's do it, everybody. Do your part.
Peter Principle sounds like, hey, no, make stupid people. That's naughty, naughty boy family show.
All right, let's get to it. So we are going to watch. Apparently, these are Kamala campaign managers, right? Now, if I was a manager, here's the rub. The rub is Trump was a busy man. Trump was the hardest working man in show business. Trump did Rogan and killed it. Rogan is the king of all media. Howard Stern is gone. Rogan is the king maker. That's a fact. You don't have to like it. But the king of all bros, bro Joe Rogan, is a kingmaker, right? And this is going to be a new thing. You want to be president, you got to go through Joe Rogan. And they're saying, why did Kamala not go to bro Rogan? She was in Texas, where he is. She went to some Beyonce concert, paid her like $1 million, 10 million, whatever it was. Why did she not go to bro Rogan? She didn't go to bro Rogan because she's a coward. She didn't go to bro Rogan because she might get exposed. Right? She didn't go to bro Rogan because
hold on. Joe is not a moron. He likes to play the big, thick lunk sitting over there saying, well, just try to explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, right? He's real good at getting people to talk. If he got her in there talking, got one of them big cigar blunts up in her face.
That's what it is. Because he would have lit. That's what it is. Oh, you figured it out. Because bro Rogan was going to light a joint like he did famously to Elon Musk and passed it to him. Remember when he smoked that joint on the podcast? And she's like, remember, she locked people up for weed, and she said she smoked weed because she's half Jamaican or whatever she is at the time. And
it's like she was listening to Tupac.
Listening to Tupac before he was born. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh geez. Hold on. We have to get on a Tupac thing. Have you seen Gay Tupac? Are you familiar with this?
Oh God, bro, show me immediately. I don't have it in my life, and I need it.
You don't know Gay Tupac? Oh my God.
I'm sure I probably do, dude. I'm a YouTube troll. I'm definitely in the loop, but I don't know if I know this one. I'm always down for Gay Tupac.
Tupac, like, look, I'm not in the rap, right? What was that song? What was that song?
Way too white for this question.
No, but it's like a white person song, and then he rapped over it. It's famous. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyways, Tupac is like, I mean, you can still buy Tupac shirts today. It changes. But what was the original song, Carpenter's Journey? It was an old white person song. Oh, so yeah, some things just never change. Da-da-da. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Is that like Steve Winwood or something?
You did a good job at that, dude.
You Steve Winwood? Who was saying that? Who's the original guy that wrote that? But anyways, I remember growing up, and it's like you see Tupac, and it's like, he's got like the tattoo Thug Life or whatever. I mean, the imagery was pretty gangster. Especially for a white guy like me, and he was like, I don't know, Juice or something. Wasn't he with, I don't know what he did. You see him on those.
You're talking to, dude, be real careful talking about Tupac. I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything. Let's listen to Tupac in his own words, people. And you try to tell me differently. Let's get to, hold on. This is a 36-minute interview. Let's go to Candace Owens. She breaks it down. Hold on. She gives like the gayest parts. Okay. Here it is. Listen. If you look at Tupac as the Uber of masculinity and gangster thug life or whatever, and that's your guy, and that's your sacred cow. Just turn off the YouTube now. Turn your eyes from this, okay? Because after you see this, bro, let's just watch. Here we go. And shout out to Candace Owens for curating this. Here it is. This is real. This is not fake. Check it out. I didn't think I would ever talk about Tupac on my show. I'm kind of embarrassed, but we have to do this.
I'm most like my mom because I'm arrogant. Totally arrogant. I agree. I have to say it. Like at work, I can't hold a job. I just quit my job today, actually, because I wanted to come and do this. And they wouldn't let me. And I felt like it was important, and it was more important than serving pizza. And we had enough people. So I felt like since I'm an actor, they should understand. They should have let me do it. But they didn't. And then I had a cold. So they were making me work in a freezer. And I'm really not one to be disrespected. And I felt like that was disrespectful because I asked to go, So I quit. And he told me I couldn't quit. And that even made me hyper. I'm arrogant. So when he told me I couldn't quit and we had all these customers, I chose that time to jump on a soapbox, grab my leather jacket, light a cigarette in front of him, smoke, and leave in the middle of a rush. So that was natural. That's arrogance at the top. That's, I think, I'm most like my mother. And she likes it. She'll see it in me and know it. And we clash a lot because I'm arrogant, she's arrogant. And you should see us when we get in our little attitude moves.
Look at the comments. Look at the comments. Here we go. People are defending this. If this wasn't him, your gaydar would blow up. Bro, my gaydar is blown up so much, I have to recalibrate it with recalibration tools and devices. It's off the freaking charts. It's like a Russian gay bomb just dropped in the form of Tupac. Bro, if this was anybody but Tupac, you would know straight up that he would have a rainbow flag in his hand. Stop it. Look at the comments there. It's like, bro, you're acting like Kamala. You're acting like Kamala's managers, right? You're acting like a girl with math, as in no math at all. Bro, solve for X. If a dude does this, oh my God, I'm just like my mom, and I was just so disrespected, and I can't believe it, and I'm just arrogant. Okay, bro. This dude is obviously set up by the record labels to what? To destroy the culture? I don't know. But to sit here and deny what your eyes and ears see, right?
So is he a CIA op? Was he an op?
I don't know what he is. I know what he is, but I don't know what he is.
One of the greatest rappers of all time, brother.
Okay, but listen, where's that gangster from, right? Like, what is this? Yeah, he's a drama student. Was he in Baltimore for a second? I'm in Baltimore. What's up, Chuck? Up, Chuck. I just said up, Chuck. You want to come up, Chuck? Like, sorry, guys. I know this is your sacred cow, but I'll just play. I'll just finish it out, right? I report. You decide. Don't be a propagandist. Just pretend this isn't him. Pretend it's not him. Hold on. Let's get the camera. Pretend it's not him and tell me it's not true. Pretend this isn't your sacred cow and tell me this isn't what it is. Tell me your eyes are lying to you. You know it's true. And hey, it's 2024. It's okay to be that way.
Sir, it was always okay to be that way. That's not new.
Let's get to this.
I'm just saying it's a
Arrogance at the top. That's, I think, I'm most like my mother. And she likes it. She'll see it in me and know it. And we clash a lot because...
Well, like, this dude was probably spotted by what's that, Abercrombie Fitch? This dude was at a Diddy party. This is like the kind of guy that they would target. Diddy party, Abercrombie Fitch party. Maybe he was on the casting couch. Maybe that's how he became big, bro. Crazier things have happened. Chuck, welcome to the show. Chuck, what's your favorite Tupac song? Go for it.
I don't know no Tupac.
It's fine.
I don't listen to rap. Rap is crap.
Yeah, he's so old he listens to One Pop.
One Pac,
I listen
exactly.
to Lawrence Welk.
Lawrence Welk. I know that name. I'm not really sure what he does, but we're going to be talking about Les Paul later. I don't know if you know what that is. So just a little FYI. Let's get back to Tupac and see what he has to say.
Because I'm
You
arrogant,
good,
she's arrogant.
girlfriend.
What's up?
Has he said girlfriend yet?
Right? I mean, bro, he's look at his hands, man. He's got he's even got a twinkle. I bet if he walked up, if he stood up and started walking, he'd start switching, bro. Come
Arrogant,
on.
she's arrogant. And you should see us when we get our little attitude moves.
Attitude moves?
I'm just saying it's a lot of
There's another name for attitude moves. It's called sassy.
Too much
hand
sugar in the gas
movements for an eventual thug life gangster. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's it. All right. Well, look, sorry, guys. That's your sacred cow. But there's a whole 36-minute interview. Go ahead and watch it if you want, but be careful, right? I mean, think of how the Catholics fought. Think of how the Catholics felt when they realized that their whole organization was based off of, let's face it, gay PDF files. I mean, that's what it is, right? The truth like hurts, but you have to admit it. Catholicism is just a group of homosexual PDF files, and people are still giving trillions of dollars to it. I don't know why. It's insane, but that's what it is. That's what it is. And the sooner you accept the truth, or I don't know, take the blue pill, right? The Matrix isn't too bad sometimes. I don't know. It's up to you. But really, I want to get back into this Kamala thing. I want to talk about it. I want to hear what these campaign managers said. Now, of course, if she went on Rogan, she was in huge danger of being exposed. So let's have a thought experiment, Caucasian Sasquatch and Chuck. If you are Kamala's campaign manager, is she going to do would she have done Joe Rogan? Yes or no? And why? Go.
Dude, I would have marched that chick across just like a prize pig. I'd have put her right in front of the cameras till she either screwed the pooch or blew up. We can spin anything that happens provided she actually makes an appearance.
It's a good point. Good point. How about you, Chuck?
She had already blew it on that one interview when they asked her, what would you have changed different from Biden? And she says, oh, he did everything perfectly. That was the end of it right there.
Well, that's true. That was the View, and that was obviously like as easy as it gets interview. So again, I asked the question, if you were her campaign manager, would you have wanted her to go on the Joe Rogan show after that?
Oh, hell no. They didn't want her on that show to make a bigger fool out of her than what she already was.
All right, so there we go. We got two different opinions. Sasquatch says, roll the dice. What do you got to lose? We can do damage repair. Chuck says, no. I don't know where I stand, honestly. I don't know. I mean, she obviously lost, so maybe she should have done it. She could have lost even more, honestly. We don't know. Let's have a listen to this. Let's see what these people say. And these people are Kamala Harris campaign managers. Let's hear it.
Different than everyone else, different than Joe Biden, different than Donald Trump. And at the end of the day, the choice was her versus Donald Trump. And at the same time, you know, she was very clear that she was a new generation of leadership, but it wasn't just like a statement. It was, here's what I need to focus on. Her first policy announcements were economic, talking about housing, talking about lowering costs, understanding that people really didn't feel like things were progressing in the way that they wanted to, a la the right track, wrong track data, but how she brought her own point of view to thinking about housing, sandwich generation. That was probably her biggest applause line, one of the best testing things that we did. That wasn't a poll tested, let's you know, work on this poll, this data to tell us this is the right issue we should go talk about. That was about her life and also understanding what people in the country were really needing. So I think that in a 107-day race, it is very difficult to do all the things you would normally do in a year and a half, 2 years. But I think wherever we had an opportunity, the vice president did put her own stamp on this and did it in a deeper way than I think probably we got the kind of full breadth of coverage on it. Of course, you know, when you have an administration that a lot of progress has been made and you're part of that progress, it's complicated when you're asked questions in certain ways. But at the end of the day, I think she really, every time she turned, you know, talked to a voter, every time she was out on the stump, she really leaned into her own vision. But the headwinds were tough. I will also, though, add, of course,
this doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like she has no vision. The one thing she had was that $25,000 for a first-time home owner. I mean, that sounds pretty dope if I'm a first-time homeowner, honestly. I know the answer to that, or the Republican answer is, well, they're just going to magically raise all the home prices $25,000, which I don't believe, FYI.
There's another layer. There's another layer to that I've never actually heard anyone but me reference it. First-time home buyers, you're talking about younger people. You're talking about people who have moved here from elsewhere, typically, if you catch my drift. Basically $25,000 for immigrants to purchase a home.
Yeah, sure. It could be for that. But let's be honest. There's always been first-time homeowner incentives. It's usually in the form of low annual percentage rate for some reason. So I'm not even against a $25,000 thing for first time. I mean, I already bought my first home a long time ago, so it wouldn't help me. But I can see how that's.
Well, my point is,
appealing, or why not just $25,000 to anyone who wants to buy a home? I don't know. What were you gonna say?
Most of America is in a situation like you, where they purchased at least one domicile previously. Whether they still own it or not is immaterial. Most of the people that would be taking advantage of that particular setup would be either younger people first coming into the workforce, probably incapable of actually affording a home and not realizing it, or immigrants, whatever type of immigrant they would be.
Another 08-09 fiasco in the making. That's what broke the bubble then, was the housing.
The truth is, I bought my first home in 2003 or 2. And like, I don't really know anything now. I knew even less back then. But, bro, they were handing out loans like freaking candy. I put zero down.
For those of y'all who've never been through this process, he picked the spot out, went there, said, yeah, I like it, told the woman that he wanted it, or the guy that he wanted it, and then went home. And then later moved in and never gave anyone a freaking dime until after it was his, essentially.
Well, I don't know what. Let me tell you what it was.
He wrote down.
I went to a real estate person, and they were like, they used to work back then, took me out, bought me lunch, let's look at these homes, don't worry about your credit. I didn't even know what my credit score was. I knew it was lousy. They're like, don't worry about it, we got some programs we can get you on. First time homeowner, no problem. They put me on a HELOC, home equity line of credit, for my 20% down, which means I put zero down. And like, yeah, I got those dope loans that they were giving out during the Bush days, but I kept paying for it. I didn't crash out like everyone else. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that, right?
You ended up with a straight loan instead of variable mortgage rate. I
had a 5-year arm on one of them, but I don't know. I didn't crash out for whatever reason, and it's not because I'm like smart or better than anyone. I don't know what it was, but I kept it, and it's just interesting. So I guess what I'm saying is I was lucky in that regard, because I don't think that era is back. Personally, no. I don't know. No, and 25,000 is
that would have came out of taxpayers' pockets though to cover that 25,000.
Well, maybe it's worth it,
No, why should I put it down? Why should I pay for down payment on your house?
Well, you pay for a Medicaid, which is poor people's medical expenses. You pay for all kinds of stuff. You give all your money. You give all your money to Ukraine. You give all your money to Israel. Why not give it to an American? What's the difference? All they do is just print money, anyways. But we're getting off track. Let's get back to Kamala. Let's hear the excuses.
A little bit of your blue is showing, bro. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah, hey, part of me is blue. I'm okay. Lots of people think I'm a big libtard.
Just cover your slip a little bit. It's okay. I don't judge you. I love you.
I want Medicare for all. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I want it. I want it. Medicaid is for poor people. Rich people get whatever they want. The only one who gets smushed is the middle class, of course, right? And let me tell you this. I hate insurance, right? I hate it. I hate that they hand you this piece of paper and they say, figure out, it's like 6 million ways to die, choose one. How are you going to die? Buy the right kind of insurance and figure it out. I'm not a genie. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know how I'm going to die. I wish I could live forever. It's just insane that you have to figure out how you're going to die and buy the appropriate insurance. Otherwise, you're going to be homeless and then die. It's insane. It is insane. I don't like the system. I wish we could fix it. All these other countries have it. Anyways, I'm really getting off track. Let's get back to Kamala.
We lost. So I'm not here to say that that didn't happen. We would much rather not have that happen. But where she campaigned, we did way better than the rest of the country. And Donald Trump did worse, to the point that you were just talking about with Pluff. That idea that people have just a well-constructed, already baked in idea about Trump and they don't need to learn anymore, it's just complete fallacy. I mean, his numbers are stronger today than they have ever been.
Yeah.
And that was critical for us. And we also believe this race was not just about Kamala Harris. It was Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. And we had to set that choice and that frame up. And I think that we were able to, anywhere we campaigned in all 7 of these states, where Donald Trump, by the way, campaigned too. He did worse and we did better. And we did make real progress against these national headwinds. If in every other state but the battlegrounds, there was a negative 8-point shift to the right, in the battlegrounds, there was only 3. So we needed it to be better than that. And perhaps if we had more time, we could have done that. But I think that's fundamental, that when people learn more about her, understood what she stood for.
All right, this is a long podcast. Luckily, they have chapters. This is just a bunch of wordy nonsense. How was money spent in the Harris campaign? I don't think we're going to get a straight answer on that either. Why didn't Harris do more podcasts? Here we go.
The candidate who was not fully defined.
Trump did a ton of podcasts. Like, let's put Rogan aside, right? As I said,
Why put Rogan aside? That's the question on everyone's mind. No, don't put Rogan aside, dumb. That's the only question we have. Why didn't you do Rogan? We know the answer, but we want to hear you say that you're
a liberal panel. They don't want to talk about Rogan.
It's true. They're just cowards. They're cowards. Let's listen to it.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, win or lose. It would have been a big moment. Win or lose, they campaign on one podcast. That was the core of Trump's media strategy, was to do a bunch of these podcasts. They were not political podcasts per se. They were probably political adjacent, right adjacent. It's my understanding that you guys wanted to do a bunch of the larger, more popular, not specifically political podcasts.
All right. What do we think about this set, right? The bricks are awesome. Doesn't it need some art on the wall?
It looks a little oversized.
It's all artificial.
That's not real brick?
It can't be. Look at the patina on the right, one to the left, and that's 2 little screens that they slide out so that you can tell the difference in the backgrounds.
I think it's real, bro.
Okay.
Okay, well, even if it's real or fake, doesn't it need art? I mean, let's be honest.
I think so. But then again, I'm sitting in front of a smoky room that's just a loop.
It's like too much of a good thing, and everything's brown. Actually, this brown desk is cool, but the color's wrong next to the bricks. What are you going to say?
Look how small they look against that backdrop. The wall looks huge, and they look like miniatures.
Yeah, the camera's wrong too. They should lower the camera and get an up shot, or at least a 180 degrees.
Oh no, they've got a down shot because the chicks are scared of looking fat.
Yep.
Camera angles is part of that YouTube thing, bro.
I think I'm ready. Remember fish lips? I think we should bring that back. I like the fish lip era personally. I hope it comes back. I don't know. Let's listen.
Can you talk a little about why that may not have happened? Like, I'll give you, for example, it's Hot Ones, right?
Oh, yeah, Hot Ones.
Hot Ones is an example where,
I-
never in time has there been a candidate better suited for a
Hot
podcast
Ones,
than Kamala Harris on Hot Ones. So,
Hot Ones? Not like, do you want your candidate to eat spicy wings and sweat? That's gross. I wouldn't. I don't even watch that show. It's like stupid. Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you though. If Trump had sat down at Rogan's with a bunch of spicy hot wings and sweated his spray tan off, that would have been just as acceptable as what he did. You'd respect him more for sitting there going, sweat running down. He's over here dabbing his napkin, nose running, blowing his nose over here off camera. Joe Rogan's toking on a big old stogie over there. So what are you going to do about all the tariffs?
That'd be great. I mean, honestly, right? Trump. The thing with Trump stuff is it's good for like 40 minutes. And then I'm like, then I've had enough. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, 40 minutes, drop the bombs, and then leave.
But you can do 40 minutes of Trump. How much Kamala word salad can you tolerate in one sitting without pausing it?
It's but but listen, that's the thing. If you noticed her campaign, speeches were pretty good, man. They're pretty short. She just came in, dropped bombs, and left because she's not a rambler. She doesn't have it in her.
It takes more than that to win an election.
Well, apparently it does, but anyways, let's get back to this. Here we go.
I think if I remember correctly on Hot Ones that they didn't want to delve into politics.
Well, and that's across the board.
Yeah, I think
right?
But some of them did.
Yeah.
We had, I think, real opportunity for some core podcasts that hit key constituencies on the Smoke, Club Shay Shay. She's everywhere we could. We did it. But I do think we had a lot of support in a number of, athletes and others that were just not.
Yo, shout out to my Indian brother, Anurag Bats. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I certainly appreciate you pulling up, my dude. And just remember, I have new content every day at 9 o'clock. I'm not always live at 9, but it's always new content. So 9 o'clock Eastern, which is the same as New York City time, FYI, to my international friends. I'll probably have some shorts out, maybe a little Thanksgiving note or something. That's what we're going to do. 9 p.m. every single day, 7 days a week. Something new is released on this channel. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Anurag, I don't know if you know what Thanksgiving is, but bro, it is actually right now and tomorrow. Look it up. It's pretty big holiday for the Americans, and it's great. It's a great holiday because there's no presents. It's just gathering and food. I mean, what could be better, honestly? So thank you so much, bro. And let's get back to this.
Super interested in getting their brand caught up in the politics of this campaign. And I don't think he had the same problem. Now, he wasn't talking to the kind of folks, that we were trying to get. And these are big names that their reputations would be tied into it. But, he, I think, certainly was able to tap into some cultural elements in ways that we couldn't. And I think that had an impact on us, that there were places that we knew we had support that we desperately wanted to go and have conversation that we thought would be interesting and relevant and fun. And we couldn't get there. But we did get to a number of places that I think were really impactful for us, hitting men, African-American men, Latino men. We had a number of opportunities there that I think when we could do it, we absolutely did it. And it was a top priority for us.
And the truth is, when Trump would go on these podcasts, the conversation wasn't political, and we saw that. And, we did lots of outreach to many of the same podcasts that he went on. Ultimately, as we said, with everything in this campaign, we had to pick and choose because of the limitations on time. But I do also want to say that Tim Walz was a huge podcaster and was on podcasts all the time. And, in the politics adjacent space that you were talking about, sports, hunting, fishing, running, football generally. He went on SmartList, a whole host of them. So we definitely see the value in this strategy. I guess the thing that was different about our campaign versus Trump's are a couple of things. One, all of his podcasts were reaching the audience that we were struggling to pull in,
young
men. And we saw that, we knew that. And number two, in addition to doing podcasts, we were also doing earned media, and he was doing a little bit of that, but it was mostly right-wing media.
This is just too talky and too boring. And it's too long, so I'm going to have to go to some other YouTuber that's broken down the best clips, right?
There you go.
This is,
you cooking a turkey?
I want to be...
A ham and a turkey.
Both of them? I did a turkey. Yep. I rotisserie a turkey breast.
Get lined up for apology tour. Who is going to break this down for me? Who is going? Here we go. The Rising. Here we go. Let's hear this one. These guys are usually pretty good. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's like this Irish guy. I can't stand the Irish guy. Hold on. I can't. It's like Irish.
All these guys are pretty good.
No, but I don't like this host. I don't like that guy. Oh my goodness. Here we go.
You hear that, folks? He hates the Irish, and he lives in Baltimore.
I mean, let's listen to this guy's voice. It's just like impossible to deal with. I can't take it. Sorry, I can't take this voice seriously, right?
Well, find one you can take then.
No, I am going to find it, but let me just show you his voice, just so you know I'm not crazy.
Vice President Kamala Harris spoke out for the first time since conceding the presidential race to Donald Trump.
Is that Irish? What is that? Does anyone know?
Irish is close enough.
Have a listen.
It's English, but there's definite brogue in there. I would say Irish.
I can't take this kind of voice seriously. I mean, maybe if he was in Europe, but not in America. Come on.
Harris spoke out for the first time since conceding the presidential race to Donald Trump. Here's a clip of Harris talking to some of her supporters.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. Okay, so there you go, Chuck. You want to listen to that? I know I don't.
No.
Exactly. See? All right, let's listen to this one instead. I think this is it. It sounds like the music to Succession. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, let's listen.
Strategy for influencing Donald Trump a little bit later. Hello, Namiki. Nice to see you.
Robbie, I know you have a lot on your mind, and this is a full show.
Yes.
But I hear you have some thoughts. What's on your radar?
All right, let's get to it. As we analyze what went so right for the Trump campaign and what went horribly, horribly wrong for the Kamala campaign, I'd like to take a look at the two candidates' media strategies. Trump's embrace of podcasts and alternative media made him more popular than ever before and allowed him to reintroduce himself to young people, particularly young men, and make gains with working Americans, with Latino voters, and so on. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris spent $20 million on star-studded events, concerts, and celebrity endorsements and meet and greets. Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Bon Jovi, even Oprah, whose production company reportedly received $1 million to collaborate with Kamala. Now, Oprah, it should be noted, denied she herself was paid anything. Still, the strategy is self-apparent. Kamala Harris thought celebrity endorsements from liberal Hollywood would help sell her to the American people. How did that work out? Now, there was one potential celebrity endorsement, not from a mainstream celebrity, but a celebrity all the same, that I think would have made a difference had she earned it. That celebrity is the popular podcast giant Joe Rogan, who interviewed Trump in the closing days of the campaign and endorsed the former president on the eve of the election. But Kamala Harris had an opportunity to court Rogan, and more importantly, Rogan's millions of watchers, listeners, and subscribers. And Rogan was happy to have a conversation with Kamala Harris. But according to Rogan, who just revealed new details about his overtures to the Kamala campaign, Harris's handlers were nervous about doing the interview after he told them it would be unedited. Take a listen.
Look, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to Kamala Harris. I'm like, I bet there's a person in there. I bet I can get to that person.
Yeah.
I wanted to find that person. I don't want to hear all the speeches. I don't want to hear, I was raised middle class. I don't want to hear any of that.
She's a roller skater.
The middle class. The middle class. That's what she's known for. That's going to be the quote that she goes down for history with. I'm from the middle class, talking out of her nose.
I don't know, man. It might be the bus quote.
I was the girl who wrote that. You mean when she called Joe Biden racist? Is that what you're talking about?
I think that's the same interview.
No,
the whole bus fiasco. You remember her doing like the wheels on the bus go round and round stupidity? That was early.
No, early was when she was running in the what's it called? Primary. And there's this. It's been scrubbed from the internet, but Joe Biden says, I don't want my kids going to some racial jungle school.
Yeah.
And apparently what they would do is they would take inner city kids and bus them to like nice suburban schools. And apparently Kamala was part of that. So during the debates, when it was Kamala versus Biden, she basically was calling him like a racist. And she was like, I was the girl who rode that bus and you blah, 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 blah.
That was 2020.
Was that 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah,
2020 election.
Yeah, that struck a chord for everyone, and that she was doing like pretty good there at that point. but now she is known for talking about how she's from the middle class all the time. And it's, again, I feel sorry for this woman. I do. Let's listen.
You know that?
No, I would love to find that out.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to her about all kinds of I literally said, like, because there was a few restrictions of things I didn't want to talk about, but I said, I don't give a I go get her in here. Like, whatever you want to talk about. And they want to know if I edit. I'm like, there's not going to be any editing. There's no editing.
Yeah.
We're not going to edit. But
yeah, that's the same thing they asked us. Is there an edit? You know,
I just wanted to talk. I feel like you give someone a couple of hours and you start talking about anything. I'm going to see the pattern of the way you think.
Rogan also said the campaign wanted to give him no more.
That's the problem. She doesn't think. She's just a doer.
A
Go ahead.
60 Minutes interview didn't help her cause any. The one where they edited her, changed her responses.
Right?
From the air. Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane that we're supposed to vote for a woman who can't even stare down freaking Joe Rogan, king of the bros. That we can't even, we're supposed to vote for someone who, if they edit her videos to sound any better, they just sound like exactly the same. Right? And she's going to go all around the globe talking to Putin, talking to Xi Jinping, just dealing with all these presidents. And she's scared, literally scared of Joe Rogan. It's crazy.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that she caught some crossfire from the whole Tiffany Henyard issue? Because they were both kind of trying to do that, doing that brat boss bee kind of approach. And
I don't,
He
it's a
doesn't
bad,
have the same swagger. No, Henyard has more swagger than.
Oh no, Henyard has way more swagger, but I'm just talking about they were going for like the boss babe concept, and I think it's perhaps possible that some people saw something of Henyard in the way Kamala was operating.
I don't think
okay
that hurt her any. Kamala Harris is light years ahead of Tiffany Henyard as far as everything, honestly. Success, intelligence. The only thing she doesn't have is she doesn't have that it factor. Like, yeah, Tiffany Henyard does have that it factor. Like, if you didn't know that she was such a alleged criminal,
sir, I would know. I would know the second I saw that smile. I've seen that smile before on other criminals.
I don't think so. I think you'd fall for it when she turns on the charm and she's not acting crazy. She's pretty compelling. She's like, if you see some of her videos when she's among the people,
but you
genuinely like her.
Carnival, sir. Work a carnival. You'll learn real quick exactly. She can't control it, dude. It's just part of her personality. She's got to get over on everyone she encounters to make herself feel like a person. It's not she's not pretending. This isn't a character. She fully believes she's going to walk away from all of this with a book deal and a TV movie that she stars herself in.
But can you blame her? I mean, some people win. Like, look, she got arrested as a councilwoman, and now she's not only the mayor but the supervisor, which I guess is like some sort of mayor, racking in tons of money. She got a meeting with Joe Biden. The president. Like, she's, in the words of Charlie Sheen, she's winning, or she was winning. And when you get on a winning streak, it's just so hard. It's hard to imagine losing. Like, God, please let me get on a winning streak like Tiffany Henyard, from arrested to freaking mayor and supervisor and a meeting with the president.
You can have that, bro. I'm not interested. No, that's a wild ride, bro. Think about it. Think about the things she's had to sit in on. Do you remember the whole fiasco with the credit cards? How the city credit card was closed and one was opened by some mysterious individual that Tiffany happened to have all the information for? That was the new city credit card.
Yeah, listen, Tiffany Supermare Henyard, it's hard to even deal with that story. It's just, it's Tiffany Superman Henyard is like basically it's like watching I don't know if you ever seen that show Empire. It's like more unbelievable than watching a season of Empire, which is like completely unbelievable and insane and bouncing off the walls, but it's reality. So I can't even keep up with it. I haven't given up on Tiffany Superman Henyard. I mean, like, she's still my. Well, I guess I'm cheating on Tiffany. I guess I'm cheating on her, but I'm just waiting for her to get arrested, I guess.
She looked like a female Lil Wayne, and you know it.
Look, again, here we go. Talking about women's looks. She looks good to me there.
Her ass is as big as a battleship there. What the hell are you
big as a what?
About?
Big as a what?
Battleship. A battleship. My God, that thing. Ooh, you can lay a 747 on that damn ass.
Chuck, you sound like Baby Got Back, white man edition, right? Look at her butt. It's so huge. Don't. Okay, say that again, Chuck. Chuck, say that again. Don't. I'm trying to do a bit, Chuck. Say it again. You're bad. The bit. This is going to be a good bit.
One of those rap guys' girlfriends.
Yes. Chuck, it would have been so great. Like, God damn, that looks like a battleship, bro. That's like classic meme in the making, and you freaking ruined it.
You can't take direction for nothing. I don't even try to teach him. He's an old dog. What do you expect?
There you go. You can't teach him new tricks. God, I'm trying to find this damn video.
I've got the bus interview already queued up if you'd like to see the one I'm talking about. This was Kamala Harris. I think this is like right after she accepted the nomination, or possibly, I think.
Oh, she's in front of a bus?
Yeah. So she's doing this whole. Yeah, no, she was asked to come speak at like the bus union or something like that because she was going to be vice president. And so she was doing all the speech tours that she could do at the time. And this is what took place. This was the first time I suspected that she was drinking, right?
Who doesn't love a yellow school bus? Right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right? There's something about and most of us, many of us went to school on the yellow school bus, right? The memory of the excitement and joy of going to school, to be with your favorite teacher, to be with your best friends, and to learn. The school bus takes us there.
Jimmy Taylor, the host of Fox Across America.
It's just bad, dude. It's so bad. That word salad just grinds on my ears, bro.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to find this.
Try harder or do it right.
I'm trying.
Amateur.
It's like there's this famous image that I can't pull up for some freaking reason.
This is why you need a producer.
And I give up. I don't think it's gonna put me over the edge. I don't think it's gonna get me 10 trillion subs tonight. But yeah, it was like that little girl is me, and it was this whole thing. That's what was going on. Okay, so
that would have been the 2020 primary when they were all still on stage at that debate.
Yes, you're right, Chuck. That's the one I'm referring to. I never saw that one that Sasquatch just showed me. But let's get to this. I heard something earlier in the day, and I really want to see it. Hopefully, this is the right clip.
Their supporters to keep up the fight on a call with grassroots organizers yesterday.
We wanted to come on. We tried to get a date to make it work. It's
never happened.
Okay, this is her excuse as to why they didn't do Rogan. Right? Candor likes the clean-shaven look. How is the poll doing? Let's take a look at the poll. Yes, I did shave a bit. And I'm getting mixed reviews. I hope you guys did the poll. Let's have a look. Let's see where we're at. Is this God, I've got so many freaking windows open. Can anyone see it? Oh, here we go. Shaved, still 52%. Yeah, the shaved look apparently is doing well, just by a margin, But let's get back to this.
Yeah, there's a lot of intrigue around this, a lot of theories. It's pretty simple. We wanted to do it. We had discussions with Joe Rogan's team. They were great. They wanted us to come on. We wanted to come on. We tried to get a date to make it work, and ultimately we just weren't able to find a date. But it didn't ultimately impact the outcome.
Right, Chuck? Like you have a plane, you've got a bus.
She's got Air Force One if she wants it. She could be there in 3 hours from anywhere damn near on Earth.
Yeah, like global warming, not even once to the upper class, right? It only for the plebes like us do we have to care about this, whatever it is, imaginary or not. She can go anywhere she wants.
Did you see when she went on that one podcaster show and they made the podcaster come to her?
And they built the entire set.
$1 million to build that set in a hotel room.
The Call Her Daddy podcast, which is just a disgusting feminist rag of a podcast that just talks about, from what I've seen and read, of course, just women and women being nasty and women trying to empower themselves, just being nasty, a modern nasty woman. Let's just leave it at that. I blame Sarah Jessica Parker, among others. So let's get back to this. Let's hear the excuses, right? Zero accountability. I thought that speech maybe had a little bit of accountability in it. It had a little bit of inspiration in it, honestly, the Kamala speech that we heard way at the beginning of this show. But again, it's just more lies. Lies on top of lies. Let's hear some more lies.
One way or the other.
They say they just couldn't find a date there.
Even CNN is ripping into Kamala. You know it's bad when CNN gave up on the girl.
I don't think it would have impacted the outcome one way or the other. James Carville weighed in on this question in recent days. Let's watch what.
This is FYI. This is Chuck's cousin, James Carville. Here we go.
He had to say.
The vice president was thinking about going on Joe Rogan's show, and a lot of the younger progressive staffers pitched.
Honestly, I thought this dude was black for like the longest time. Like, I know he's like white, but you know how some like black people are white? Does that make sense? Not albino, but like real light, but they're still black. I mean, Kamala's high yellow, FYI, in case you're wondering. That's what they call that. But I thought Carville was like Lester Holt. I thought he was white, but he's not. Do you know who Lester Holt is?
Yeah, the NBC newscaster.
Yeah, I thought Lester Holt was white. Hold on. I'm not kidding. Bro, hold on. Hold up. Let's pull up a picture. Let's pull up a Lester Holt. Let's maybe get the whitest picture ever.
Bill Walsh has a good question.
I'm trying to hold on. I need to find a good picture of Lester Holt that's like big. Here we go. Is it? Come on.
He's not listening to the producer there, Chad.
God, no, I hear you. I'm just failing. I'm
not his producer.
Let me save the image.
Having these problems.
Okay, sorry. Here we go. All right, I'm going to bring up a picture of Lester Holt. I thought this dude was white for like the longest freaking time. And then I also thought that this Carville guy was black. And I report, you decide.
Don't say nothing.
Okay, I give up. No, I'm just failing left and right. All right, is there something I should pull up? Just look up Lester Holt. Which comment you want me to highlight?
You're fine. We can move right on.
No, I really want to look at Lester Holt, though, man. I really want to.
That is a strange statement, sir. Perhaps don't be so vehement about it. Alls. You just want to look at him?
Bro, yes, I want to show you Lester Holt.
You got to show it to me now.
I'm trying. Like, can't you just Google it on your own? No, okay. Let me
Yes,
pull it
I
up.
can. If you want me to, I will. I can bring it up if you wanted.
I don't know, man. I just saved it. It's like, where is it on this damn computer? This computer's falling apart. Where did it say? Now it's saving it to weird places. All right, let me try one more time.
This turned into a third world broadcast here.
We're good. We got this figured out, bro.
It's because Biden is still the president. I blame Biden.
You want some of this right here, bro? Some of that stuff.
Yeah, can you pull up a picture of Lester Holt for me, please? Thank you.
I got 5.
Can you make it bigger? Can you get a big picture? That's what I really want.
She said.
Yes, make it bigger, please. Like, I can do that. But I'm on this vertical stream because I'm out here doing whatever it takes to get subs. Speaking of which, if you're not subbed to me, hit the subscribe button. I'm Midlifebrologic. Bro, it's free. It's free. And double tap the screen for the like. Zoom in on Lester Holt. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. You can't tell me there's not, like, looks a little,
He is
right?
Definitely glowing.
He's like, maybe it's the glasses that throw me off. He looks like a New York small hat, kind of.
Ooh.
Right? Anyways, really, that was probably the most unimportant segment ever. James Carville, I thought he was like one of those super duper light skins. But guess what? He's not.
He's just
Here we go. Let's get back to him.
country boy.
He's like Louisiana or something, right? He's like Bayou Billy, I think. Isn't that what that comes from? Let's listen.
A hissy fit. If I were running a 2028 campaign and I had some little snot-nosed 20.
Okay, so he's mad. He's big mad. Remember, this is, I believe, Bill Clinton's architect. This is the guy that put Bill Clinton over. So he came up with the plan, and this Carville guy used to be a winner, and he still carries a lot of weight in as far as these liberal CNN, MSNBC places. They always want to know what he thinks, and he always comes on, and I bet he gets paid for it too. But with a history of putting Clinton in, that's a pretty big win for the Dems. So let's hear what he says. But he's getting old. He's getting mean like Biden. He's calling people like snot-nosed kids and stuff. Like, bro, what did they do different that you would have done, right? He's just so out of touch. He doesn't even realize that he's become what he hates, which is this upper crust, high class, liberal nonsense that, let's face it, doesn't even connect with the people that they once used to, quote unquote, help. Isn't that Dionne Warwick? Dionne Warwick is one of the best singers known to man.
He married his Republican counterpart.
Oh, he married a Republican?
Yes, a Republican strategist that had the same job except on the Republican side.
What's her name?
What the hell was her name?
Are they still married?
Yeah.
Oh, Mary Matalin.
Yeah. That's it, Madeline. Yep.
She looks mean.
Madeline.
How long have they been? Oh, married in 93. Okay. So they got married she was married when she was 40. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not really familiar with her, but I'm not really an expert. But we will see
what he does.
He's a nasty old man. He's a nasty get off my lawn kind of old man. He's totally lost touch with reality. Let's hear him. And he's always never dressed. Like, that's his thing. Let me not dress up. And I'm James Carville, and you just have to do what I say. But his voice is funny. Let's go.
3-year-old saying, I'm going to resign if you don't do this. Not only would I fire that on the spot, I would find out who hired them and fire that person on the spot. I'm really not interested.
All right, hold on. Let's rewind this. Let's get the full context here. I'm a little confused.
I think it would have impacted the outcome one way or the other. James Carville weighed in on this question in recent days. Let's watch what he had to say.
The vice president was thinking about going on Joe Rogan show, and a lot of the younger progressive staffers pitched a hissy fit. If I were running a 2028 campaign and I had some little snot-nosed 23-year-old saying, I'm going to resign if you don't do this, not only would I fire that on the spot, I would find out who hired them and fire that person on the spot. I'm really not interested in your uninformed, stupid opinion as to whether you go on Joe Rogan or not.
Okay, so
I'm totally confused. Would he want Tim Walz to go on Joe Rogan or not? Could anyone figure that out?
Dude, do you realize how much fun Joe Rogan would have with that man?
With Tim Walz? Probably a lot, because he's like a hunter. Tim Walz, I know he's Tampon Tim. I know he lied about being in battle. But he was the most human candidate, even more than Trump in a way. He really was the most likable candidate. He was just natural with it, right? He was natural with, in my opinion.
Until his wife opened her mouth.
What'd she say? I didn't hear it.
Her voice. Oh my God.
I missed it.
Wasn't she on tape saying something about lifting the windows during the riot so she could smell the tars burning?
What?
I remember something about that. Let me see if I can find it.
I don't know. Try to figure out try to figure out if Carva wants his candidate going on Rogan or not. I couldn't even, it just seems like he's mad. Let's hear what he says.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He said it was a 23-year-old snot-nosed progressive that were saying, telling Kamala, if you do this show, we're resigning.
Oh, that's what they say. Okay.
That's exactly what he's saying.
But but listen, he didn't state whether they should go on Rogan or not. He just says, let's listen one more time. Let me try to
his point is, yes, she should have done Rogan, is what he's trying to say.
But he actually said Tim Walz. But hold on, let's listen. Let me listen again.
Did he?
In on this question in recent days. Let's watch what he had to say.
The vice president was thinking about going on Joe Rogan's show, and a lot of the younger progressive staffers pitched a hissy fit. If I were running a 2028 campaign and I had some little snot-nosed 23-year-old saying, I'm going to resign if you don't do this, not only would I fire that on the spot, I would find out who hired them and fire that person on the spot. I'm really not interested in your uninformed, stupid opinion as to whether you go on Joe Rogan or not.
Okay, so Jaime, you have the unfortunate position as being for the person who has to explain and answer for all of this for us today. What did go wrong?
Yeah. Look, I hate these postmortems, and Mike and I have been talking about this, and this is going to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. There were a myriad of things that happened over the course of the last 4 years and even 8 years that led to what happened on November 5th. Look, two things that stand out to me. I think my friends on the Kamala campaign are correct. 107 messaging.
What do you think? You think I could fit in with this crowd? You think I'd look good in there? CNN analyst, Midlifebrologic.
We're gonna have to up your suit game. There's something I want to point out, brother. We got a problem already right out the gate.
Great.
Not one of them people's wearing a hat.
I know.
Just say
it. Black man, you gotta let it shine.
You might be sharpening your arrow for the wrong target.
I might be, but listen, honestly, I'm going to make a video soon, one day. Right? I've got lots of ideas. Whether I do them or not is another thing. I'm just going to start applying to like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. Like, there must be an application somewhere, right? Like, bro, what if I get an interview? I'll be like, look, I have a proven standard of success on YouTube. I'm Midlifebrologic. I'm Barnabas James. What? Hire me. I've got an interesting perspective. Or maybe I can get a job at like the local radio station.
You might be able to get a job at CNN, no joke.
Doing what?
Anything other than what they've been doing for the past 5 years, not freaking out about Trump. They just dumped like half of their freaking staff. So You don't just do that. You do that in preparation of hiring new staff to take quote unquote a new direction.
Could be. Yeah, I'm going to say no to dwarf boxing. Maybe like in real life. I prefer dwarf wrestling. Honestly, I'm a big wrestling fan. I don't like boxing. I find it too violent. But I am
in Florida. They have a game called dwarf tossing, where you throw a dwarf at he's wearing like
I'm aware.
What's it called? Velcro, and the wall is made of the other side of the Velcro, and you throw him at a big inflated wall, and it's like darts.
Yo, what's up, Juan? Listen, that's going to be a whole segment. Come New Year's, I'm going to start applying. Let's do it. Fox News, MSNBC. Why not? Right? What are they going to say? No.
What's the worst that happens? You wake up tomorrow and do another podcast?
Yeah, right.
You'd be the next Rachel Maddow.
You could be crying on air, my brother. This could be you melting down about something that Trump did. You could do it. Give me some tears. Don't cheap out on me. You're an actor, sir.
How's that? Is that good?
It's good enough for government work. It's good enough for government work, bro.
You don't like it, Chuck?
You gotta get that onion, rub it underneath your eyes so them eyes are watering.
Okay, I'll work on it. Chuck, you know I'm a world famous actor, right?
Oh, yeah, the only clip I've seen was when you was getting poofed in the backside with that dildo. Is that your fame there? That's the only clip I've seen.
Okay, I'll leave that one alone. Yeah, no, let me get a job at CNN. Obviously, as far as fashion goes, this dude's got this dude looks the coolest, right? With this I don't know. What is that? That actually looks kind of Irish in a way. Let's move on to this part. Here we go. Let's hear what she says next. I like when they curate it for me. Okay.
Obviously, it was a very effective ad at the end. I ultimately don't believe that it was about the issue of trans. I think that it made her seem out of touch. And it was sort of a pseudo-economic ad underneath it.
At the end of the day, we were spending a lot of time with voters in these battleground states, both quantitatively and quantitatively. And this trans ad was not driving vote.
So he says the ad's not driving votes, but when you listen to what Quentin said there, I'm sure that they were testing the trans issue in a straightforward way, but if the ad's about way more than that, it doesn't necessarily line up.
Right, and it's amazing how after an election, it's like one or two things that, we lost because of that. But go back to the Virginia governor's race in 2021. The issue.
What is it with all these European white dudes, Larry? Like, you know, what is this? Well, or was this Australian? Let's hear it one more time. Can we have some American native speakers? Like, what is this guy?
Governor's race in 2021. The issues in that race were.
He's like Australian or New Zealand or South African, for all we know. Who invites these guys? Like, what's up?
They probably got him cheap.
They what?
They probably got him for a cheap price. Because they're bleeding money right and left.
What, Australia?
CNN.
I don't know. I'm sure he makes. Actually, I have no idea how much money this guy makes. But the truth is, I think they sat here and they contrived this whole panel. It's like, let's get someone who sounds either English or Australian and bring them on. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Inflation, trans kids in sports, and immigration, even in Virginia, was an issue. That completely prefigured this election. And I think because the Democrats did better than everyone thought they would in the midterm elections.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I don't need this guy. I've got the best analyst in the biz right here. I've got Chuck. I've got Caucasian Sasquatch, and of course myself. I don't need someone to tell me how to think, right? Okay. I'm not Kamala Harris. I can come up with my own thoughts, right? And if I have bad thoughts, I'll just consult the Sasquatch or Chuck. That's what's up, okay? I don't need some foreigner from Australia or New Zealand or whatever asshole country he comes from to tell an American what to think, bro. You come from a land down under. You may be rocking out to AC/DC, but you're nothing but a crocodile hunter to me, right? And that don't fly here. That's why CNN is failing. I really want to find this clip where she cries about racism, but I guess I just can't. So I think I'm just going to give up on that.
Who was crying about racism?
Rachel Maddow, wasn't it?
No, the campaign manager is she's sexism, racism, blah, 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 blah. Like I wanted to hear her complain about that. And, oh, they're not asking me. They didn't ask Kamala the right questions and blah, 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 blah.
I had somebody point out something to me, and I want your opinion on it. I don't care what you think, Chuck, but I want MedLife's opinion on this. Somebody pointed out that the reason that they went with the specific type of population that they were aiming for is because they are the most activist oriented, right? Yeah, that's why you go with the pride people and the feminists and the, you know what I'm saying? Because they're already activated to be out functional and doing something. And if you can tap into that already activated population, you've automatically got a grip on sort of a grassroots looking stand. What do you think about that?
The group's not big enough.
I don't even understand the question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
I get what he's saying, but I believe that demographic was too small to have any effect. I think she was going after the wrong group.
Well, no, I agree with you, but the theory behind it is that each activated individual, activist, right? These are people that will knock on doors, that will carry brochures, that will hand out flyers, that will do the whole nine because they're already activated, as it were, right? You just have to give them the right message to carry, and I think that's what they were trying to do, but it missed its mark. It didn't actually function like they thought it would.
According to Gen X Jeff, and I talked to him, he was saying that they were too militant, even in the area he lives in. They wasn't going to knock on your door and be nice and polite. They were going to get in your face. He said they're extremely militant nowadays.
Well, he lives in the Northwest, which is
Seattle.
Yeah, I've never actually been there. Actually, well, I've been to Bend. Does that count? But those people are going to vote for Kamala anyways. I don't know how to run a campaign. Look, there's some people you have to find people that you know are going to vote for you and somehow get them to vote, right? And I don't know how many of these. I would imagine that these hardcore people that want all that stuff, I think they already all vote.
That is not a winning strategy for a campaign, because if you're campaigning specifically to people who are already going to vote for you, you're campaigning to the wrong crowd.
No, wait, well, let me finish. Let me say it again, right? They already want her. I know that. We know that. But the real question is, do they go and vote or not? Like lots of people may pretend to vote, right? I think people pretend to vote. Right? They may even have like a bumper sticker and pretend to vote. I don't know. Of course, she needs, like, who could she recruit that will vote? Like, are there any undecided voters? And it's like, I think the answer is no.
Oh, there was.
Like who? They don't exist.
I mean, look at the Great Blue Wall. I don't know if Trump disintegrated that wall, or if she just disintegrated her own wall. You know?
The only thing that she... Look, the thing about Trump is the small hats love him, right? Those are the people they had to fight for. It's true. The small hats love Trump because he's the biggest freaking Zionist out of the two.
To do with small hats. My God, you're so jaded.
I'm telling you that the small hats voted for Trump And normally they like to vote lefty. That's
All the
a fact,
small
bro.
hats are in New York City.
New York City, get a rope.
That's right.
Paste picante sauce.
You got you got frontal lobotomy or something. I'm not
No.
quite sure where your brain damage is.
Listen, people that are Zionists love Trump more than Biden and Kamala. That's a fact. And those are the only people, like normally they vote left, but they think they voted for Trump.
She's married to one.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Trump goes up there. His daughter converts. He's like, Trump. He just all bluster. He's like, yeah, let's be tough and he wants to blow everyone up, and he's going to do that. And now the Middle East is what it is. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know. I hope we answered your questions, Oscars. But let's get on to the final topic of the night. Let's get on to it. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Donald Trump has his own brand of guitar. Are you aware of this?
The
news
Trump
to me,
bear.
bro.
Here it is. Introducing the limited edition American Eagle Guitar Series. Of course, I covered this before, but this is an addendum. Something new is happening with this. The only guitar officially endorsed by Donald J. Trump. What's up, Chuck?
The lawsuit. He got sued for this.
Yes. Oh, Sasquatch, you're ending the 5. Yeah, I'm going to end pretty soon, too. So here's these guitars. You can say what you want. They look like an F-150 of a super hardcore Trump voter. Eagles, flags, you know the look. And the guitar is $1,200. If you want one signed, of course, that's $10,000. Oh, here's the electric guitar sold out. It's already sold out. $1,500. I don't know how many of you play guitar or go to Guitar World or whatever.
Look at the next one up. It's like 10 grand and it's sold out.
No, this is the signed one. It's only the signed one.
All the way to the right.
Yeah, it's signed.
Oh, okay.
That's the only difference. And it has the eagle. $1,500 guitar. It looks like a very popular American guitar called Les Paul, made by an American company called, what's up, Renaissance Rogue? Called Gibson, right? And it's $1,500. But here's the thing. There's no way this guitar is made in America for $1,500. Like it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So America doesn't make $1,500 guitars. They just don't. Like they don't. Like
too low or too high of a price?
It's too low. Like these guitars, a Gibson version of this guitar is like $5,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
But this ain't a Gibson.
I'm telling you, American made most guitars aren't made in America, and the ones that are not $1,500. So this thing isn't even made in America. First off, but let's read about the lawsuit. That's what I want to get to. The New Republic, not sure what that is. Breaking news from Washington and beyond. Trump guitars hit with cease and desist after scammy money grab. I mean, bias much, right? How is it a scammy money grab if he sells you a product? I mean, it's kind of low class and cheesy. I'll give it that, but I don't know if it's scammy.
It's right up Trump's. It's ticky tacky. It fits his persona. It's an American Eagle guitar with a freaking. It's exactly the type of thing I would. The golden shoes, bro.
The Bible.
It's gross. You know, Putin's not out here hawking products, right?
But if he did, it would sell.
It's gross. It's gross, and I'm not proud of it. But I guess when you get sued for billions of dollars, what are you going to do, right? I don't even know if this is legal, but apparently it is. I guess you can moonlight as a president. Trump's latest money-making scheme has been hit with legal action. On Monday, the Gibson Guitar Company sent a cease and desist order to 16 Creative, the owner of Trump guitars, claiming that the design of its single-cut electric guitar model infringes upon Gibson's exclusive trademarks, particularly the iconic Les Paul body shape. That's a fact. It is. There's lots of fake Les Pauls, though, so I don't know how to get around this. Oh, that's it. The end. Okay, so more on that later.
That's actually another one of those chess situations I've spoken about before. Think about it. Whether or not he has to pay anything for that, the signed guitars and the fact that they exist will immediately create collector's items out of them, no matter what occurs.
You know, I never thought of that. I wish I could just find a picture of this Les Paul next to it. I can't. But here is another picture. So, interestingly enough, the guitar on the left is a Gibson Les Paul. I think the first one was made in 1954. Of course, there was like the Van Halen of the 50s. His name was Les Paul. So that's his guitar. It's still popular today. And on the right, that's a PRS guitar, Paul Reed Smith, actually made in Maryland on Kent Island in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay or something. And Gibson sued Les Paul over this shape and ultimately lost. So I just wanted to show that. Oh, Jesus Christ. And I don't know. That's it. Of course, this thing was definitely like way different. The headstock's different. The body shape is very similar, and so is the pick-out layup. But I don't know. Only time will tell. And Midlifebrologic will be here to report on it. And that's it. Look, I've got 54 million people in here right now. I hope you're all subscribed to Midlifebrologic. If you're watching from Sasquatch, come on over. Hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the like. And if you're one of my multi-million fans, make sure you subscribe to Caucasian Sasquatch. And I think I'm going to end it. All right, Chuck, closing remarks. Go.
Okay, all you beautiful people, have a great night. Be kind to one another.
Oh, but what about Thanksgiving, Chuck?
Tis tomorrow. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family if you have family. Just be thankful you got somebody sitting at the table with you.
All right, there it is. So all you losers that don't have family or anyone that loves you, I guess you're just all asked out. Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, you fucking rule! Rock and roll!
Take it easy, Chuck. Peace. Okay, Sasquatch.
Welcome to Midlifebrologic. Come check me out on the Caucasian Sasquatch channel, spelled like it is right there. Put an @ in front of it. You can't miss it. I do stuff. I help other people do stuff. I do voice work, stuff like that. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this. I hope you invite me back. This will be lovely.
The invite's always open. Can you do a Happy Thanksgiving in Alex Jones? Go.
So make sure you go get yourself a big old turkey for your Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you fucking rule!
All right, there it is. Thank you so much, Sasquatch. Bro,
Peace out.
Happy Thanksgiving. Love it. Okay, there we go, people. That's what's up. Listen, I am Barnabas. Oh, wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Beak is the man coming in strong, dropping the 5 spot. That's awesome, Beak. Beak, thank you so much. And you know you want to hear that super chat song. And who am I to deny you a little bit of pleasure? Here you go. There it is. Thank you so much, Beak. All right, so this has been an epic stream. It's actually Thanksgiving. I'll probably do something for tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it tonight, pre-record. Just remember, 9 o'clock every night, new content on Midlifebrologic. Come rain or shine, I'm dropping something at 9 o'clock. It may just be a short. I may cut something and put it up. Maybe a video. You know, it may not be much, but I'm going to put something out at 9 o'clock. So you got to come on over at 9. Yes, I'm on TikTok, so I may repurpose a few TikToks. I'm on TikTok, Midlifebrologic 2. Don't forget to subscribe to me on Rumble, the free speech alternative to YouTube. That's what it is. Here we go. We got some haters. Stupid question. Why would I subscribe to someone who wants me dead? To keep an eye on me, bro. Just to make sure I don't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want you dead. I don't even know you. Happy food coma. Happy turkey day. Night Sasquatch in chat. A small hat. Oops. Yeah, we don't talk about that. With that pic, Chuck could say kiss my butt. Looks like most of the chat is full of Sasquatchians, which is fine. Gibson lawsuits are an American tradition. Well, I mean, they stole it, right? It's intellectual property. It's stolen. It's obvious. It 100% looks like a Gibson Les Paul. I'm not hating on Gibson. I am not hating on Gibson. Anyways, that's what's up. I'm always trying to find a perfect camera angle. Bill Walsh, bro, thanks for being a member. Beak, as always. Thank you so much. That's it. Take it easy, y'all. Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Good evening, America. This is your president, Donald J. Trump, the big man, number 45. And when I become number 47, America is going to freaking hear our freaking voices. So I want you to subscribe to Barnabas at Midlifebrologic. He's the number one voice of the Donald J. Trump campaign. Subscribe, like, tattoo it on your body, brand it on yourself. Let the world know about Midlifebrologic. It's the number one YouTube channel on all Trump operations. Make sure that you like and subscribe to Midlifebrologic. It's the number one Trump news channel for my campaign of 2024.